Meet Alex. Alex is what society calls a responsible adult. Alex has a job, Alex pays taxes, and most importantly, Alex pays for insurance. Every month, a chunk of Alex's paycheck vanishes into the void of an insurance company's bank account. And Alex feels good about this. He thinks, I am safe. If the world ends, I'm covered. Oh, Alex, you sweet, naive summer child. Let's flash back to 2022. Hurricane Ian smashes into Florida. We are talking 155-mile-per-hour winds. It's not a storm, it's a blender made of water. Alex's house, destroyed, gone. The total damage across the state, $112 billion. It is the biggest insured disaster in American history. Alex is standing in the wreckage of his living room, looking at the sky where his roof used to be, and he thinks, okay, this sucks, but this is exactly why I've been paying premiums for 10 years. The insurance company is going to lose a fortune fixing this, but at least I'll be whole. Cute thought, Alex, really cute. Because here is the punchline. 1 year later, after the most expensive disaster in history, the top 5 insurance companies didn't go broke. They didn't even break a sweat. They posted $28 billion in profit. Alex's house is still a pile of wet drywall, but his insurance premium, that just went up 40%. State Farm jacked up prices. Allstate left California like a bad date climbing out the bathroom window. Farmers Insurance dropped 100,000 people in Florida, including Alex, and just walked away. Here is the lesson Alex is learning the hard way, and it's a lesson you need to learn right now.
Insurance companies do not lose money in disasters. They are built for disasters. They love disasters. When Alex asks why his bill doubled, they shrug and say 3 magic words: inflation, risk, and climate. Translation: pay us more, peasant. Insurance isn't protection, it's a bet.
Alex is betting something bad will happen to him. The company is betting nothing will happen, or that if it does, they can find a loophole to avoid paying for it. And the real money, it's not even your monthly payment. It's something Warren Buffett calls the float. That is $147 billion of Alex's money sitting in the insurance company's pocket, getting invested in the stock market, making them billions in profit, while Alex sits on hold, listening to smooth jazz, waiting for a claim agent who is trained to tell him no. So now Alex understands the truth. The question isn't, is insurance a scam? The real question is, why does the scam need insurance of its own? Let's hop in a time machine. 5,000 years ago, insurance was actually kind of nice. Shopkeepers would chip in a little gold so that if one guy's boat sank, the community would buy him a new boat. It was simple. Everyone shared the risk. It was humans helping humans. It was basically GoFundMe, but with wooden ships. Jump to today. Does your car insurance company feel like a community of humans helping humans? No. Your policy document is 80 pages of legal gibberish designed to be unreadable. If you actually ask for help, they punish you by charging you more money next year, even if the accident wasn't your fault. Here is the marketing promise. We are here to save your piggy bank. Here is the reality. We are here to buy our CEO a 3rd yacht. They make trillions of dollars because they know you are terrified. You pay them so you can sleep at night. They take that money and buy skyscrapers. Now, to be fair, insurance can help. It helps right up until the moment it stops helping. It works until they say no because your roof was 5 years too old. It works until the payout takes 3 years to arrive. It works until the company declares bankruptcy after a fire and leaves you holding the bag. So how did neighbors helping neighbors turn into corporate sharks eating your wallet? The answer is hidden in 2 incredibly boring accounting terms that are actually the scariest words in finance: underwriting profit and the float. Stop thinking of an insurance company as a service. Think of it as a casino. But not a fun casino. There are no free drinks here. And unlike a casino, the house doesn't gamble. The house does math. Here's the scam in slow motion. Alex pays a premium, let's say $1,200 a year for his car. That money goes into a giant bucket with 1 million other people's money. That is $1.2 billion. Now, you might think they keep that money safe in a vault in case you crash your car. LOL, no. The second that money hits their account, they invest it. They buy stocks, bonds, real estate. This is the float. It is your money, but they get to keep the profit from investing it. Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's empire, sits on $147 billion in float. $7 billion a year in free money. Before they pay a single claim, before they fix a single fender bender, they are already rich. But wait, don't they have to pay when Alex crashes? Sure, that's where underwriting profit comes in. Insurance companies use actuarial science, which is basically fortune-telling for nerds, to predict the future. They know exactly how many teenagers will crash cars this year. They know exactly how many houses will burn down. They set the prices so high that they collect more cash than they ever pay out. And here's the kicker. Even if they screw up, even if they pay out more in claims than they collected in premiums, they still make money. Why? Because of the float. Imagine you run a lemonade stand. I give you $5 for a lemonade I'm going to drink next month. You take my $5, invest it, and make $1 profit. When I come back, the lemonade costs you $5.50 to make. You lost 50 cents on the lemonade, but you made $1 on the investment. You still win. That is the insurance business model. Head they win, tails you lose. But it gets darker. What happens when a mega disaster hits, when the losses are too big even for them? Well, surprise, insurance companies have insurance. It's called reinsurance. Companies like Swiss Re or Munich Re are the final bosses of capitalism. And when even they get scared, Wall Street enters the chat. They create catastrophe bonds. Investors buy them. If no hurricane hits, the investors get rich. If a hurricane does hit, the investors lose everything. It is literally a financial bet on human suffering. And every layer of this lasagna takes a cut. Your premium pays for the insurance company's profit, the reinsurer's profit, and the hedge fund's profit. By the time $1 actually reaches you to fix your house, 4 different corporations have taken a bite out of it. Now let's look at the worst day of Alex's life. His house burned down. He has paid premiums for 15 years. He has been a loyal customer. He thinks, okay, time to get my check for $400,000. Alex calls the company. The company sends an adjuster. Alex thinks the adjuster is there to help him. Wrong. The adjuster works for the company. His performance review depends on how much money he doesn't give Alex. He climbs into the attic. He finds a patch of mold from 1998. Ah, he says, pre-existing condition, not covered. He sees the fire started near a tree. Ah, he says, you didn't trim that branch. That's negligence, not covered. They offer Alex $140,000. Alex screams. He fights. They ignore his emails. He hires a lawyer. Suddenly, the offer jumps to $320,000. It's still not the full amount, but Alex is tired, he is broke, he settles. This is the dirty secret. The business model isn't pay claims. The business model is pay as little as possible. Industry insiders have a name for this strategy, the triple D: delay, deny, defend. Delay the payment until the customer is desperate. Deny the claim based on fine print nobody reads. Defend the denial in court because they have more lawyers than you. But in 2025, it's getting even worse. They aren't just denying claims anymore. They are denying entire states. State Farm looked at California and said, nah, we're good. Farmers looked at Florida and said, too wet, bye. Why? Because climate change broke the calculator. Wildfires and hurricanes aren't accidents anymore. They are predictable. And if a disaster is predictable, it's not profitable. So they leave. And Alex is left with 2 choices. Go uninsured and lose everything. Pay 300% more for a state-run insurer of last resort. In Florida, that's called Citizens Property Insurance. It's the government pretending to be an insurance company. And guess what? It's broke. If a big Category 5 storm hits Miami, Citizens goes bankrupt. And who pays then? You do, the taxpayer. So let's recap the math. You pay a premium, the company denies your claim, the company leaves your state, the state fund goes broke, the government bails them out with your taxes. You are paying for your own disaster twice. That's not insurance, that is a robbery with extra paperwork.
Hold on for a second. This isn't just about Alex. This is global. The entire insurance industry runs on computer models built on data from the last 50 years, back when the weather was nice and stable. That data is now useless, garbage. The old models say a flood happens once every 100 years. The new reality says, hold my beer, I'll do it every Tuesday. In 2023, insured losses reached $118 billion, but uninsured losses, people with no coverage at all, hit $250 billion. The gap is getting wider. And as the gap grows, the cost moves. It moves from the corporate balance sheet onto your credit card. It moves onto the government debt. But here is the truly sick part. As disasters get worse, insurance companies don't lose, they adjust. They raise premiums, they exclude wind damage or fire damage from your policy. They lobby Congress to cap how much they have to pay. They don't absorb the risk, they dodge it. And Wall Street, they're playing both sides. They sell you the policy and then they buy the cat bond betting against your house. They have turned the destruction of the planet into an asset class. There's a reason Warren Buffett loves insurance. It's the only business in the world where you get paid before you provide the service. It's called negative working capital. It's the greatest hustle in history. You take the money, you invest the money, you delay the payout. And if things get really bad, you declare force majeure and walk away. Buffett said, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. Well, in the insurance world, the tide is going out. And guess what? We're the ones who are naked.
So what is Alex supposed to do? Just not have insurance? Ha, good luck. You have to have it. You can't drive a car without it. You can't get a mortgage without it. You are forced by law to participate in a system designed to extract maximum profit for minimum service. The industry will tell you they are innovating. They'll talk about smart devices and telematics. Put this sensor in your car, Alex. It's for safety. Don't believe it. Every sensor, every algorithm, every data point is designed for one thing: precision extraction. The more they know about you, the more perfectly they can price your fear. They aren't tracking you to lower your bill. They are tracking you to find a reason to deny your next claim. Oh, you brake too hard on Tuesday? Claim denied. The uncomfortable truth is this: insurance was invented to spread risk, but in 2025, risk is being concentrated on the poor, on the coasts, on the people who can't afford to move. Insurance companies have already done the math. They know which zip codes are doomed. They're pulling out now while the sun is still shining, before the losses hit. They're leaving you with a policy that is basically a piece of paper with "good luck" written on it in crayon. And when the water rises, or the fire spreads, or the wind tears Alex's roof off, he will file a claim, and they will find a reason to say no. Because that is the paradox. The worse the world gets, the more money they make. The more you need them, the less they will be there. So ask yourself the question Alex is asking right now. If insurance companies profit most when disaster strikes, what happens when disaster becomes the new normal? I'll tell you what happens. The house always wins, and you aren't in the house. You're the bet.